Hey guys, welcome to another video for the Poco X3 Pro. There is a new ROM on the horizon for this device known as the Kraken project or Aospk based on Android 11. I've just flashed it a couple of hours back and I used it and I sort of liked it, so I thought I should share this with you guys. But before we get into all of that, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a video. In the description of each video, you will find a link to our Telegram community where you can join us and get all the support that you need. Last but not the least, if you think the hard work is worth the effort, please click on the join button and support the channel. Now without further ado, hello awesome people, welcome to PhoneOps. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. Alright, so as always, first things first that we're going to talk about is about the ROM. Aospk Kraken official Android 11 updated today, that is the 25th of June 2021. Initial release added Brazilian and Portuguese language to Xiaomi parts, includes GApp, SE Linux is enforcing, safety net passes out of the box, it can boot on 12.0.6 or 12.5.1.0 or 2.0 firmware. Now quickly, if we click on the changelog button over here, right, June security patch, add translations, avatar in settings, search bar, Bluetooth improvements, color quick setting tiles in a lucid way, feature to enable disable blur, GApp updates, new clock for lock screen, performance and stability improvements, miscellaneous bug fixes, and starting the changelog. So basically that's everything about this particular changelog. Now first things first, what we're going to do is we go to settings, we go to about phone, right, and click on the Android version. So this is the name of the maintainer and this is a June security patch. The kernel is Ethereus version 2.1 kernel, so they are still using Ethereus. A lot of ROMs on this particular device are using Ethereus kernel, so that is something good. Now one thing that I would like to tell you about this particular ROM, you must be noticing that the font size or the display size is small, right? Now I have not set it that way, it is how it comes with this particular ROM, right? So let's go ahead and quickly see if we can increase the font size, and we can go to the display size, which is a little bigger, right? So that's better. So first things first, it does come with dynamic refresh rate. You can set the minimum refresh rate to 30 Hz and the maximum to 120 because that is what this particular panel supports. Now at the front, at the face of this particular ROM, you have a very clean UI with an amazing wallpaper. Towards the left you have the Google feed or Google Discover, which is working smooth as butter. Now moving on, if we go to home settings, you do have some launcher. I'm not sure which launcher is this, but it has a few customization options, not many over there. Moving on, you have widgets, and if you go to styles and wallpapers, you do see that you have a host of changes that you can make just like any other custom ROM, right? Come alive, these are the pixel live wallpapers which have been working just fine for me almost on each and every custom ROM, so you can go ahead and apply them if you want. Now moving on, we are talking about the notification tiles. Very simplistic look when it comes to the notification tiles in this particular ROM. I have tried this ROM on the Poco Phone F1 as well. This is a ROM which goes towards simplicity and not a lot of customization. So you have a settings option over here and you have a screen recorder, very basic options in the screen recorder, including internal and external audio. And if you click edit over here, that is where the customization is. Now unlike Resurrection Remix, Evolution X, you don't have a dedicated customization menu for this particular ROM in settings, but you do have a ton of options like focus mode, bedtime mode, live caption, you do have a FPS counter, and what else do we have? Ambient display, live display, caffeine, you have system profiles shortcut. So let's see if the FPS counter is working. There you go. So the FPS counter is working absolutely fine, and quite a lot of customization options in the notification tiles over there. Now when I installed this particular ROM, I did test the charging. The charging has been just fine. It was charging fine with the 33-watt charger. So if you go to battery over here, you do have thermal profiles, right? So in thermal profiles, you can go ahead and set anything to say benchmark, and you have a dedicated game mode as well. So even if you have a ROM which is targeted towards simplicity and you give things like thermal profiles in game mode, that really makes a lot of difference, because I have seen that thermal profiles in a lot of custom ROMs have been improving performance and they have been unleashing the true potential of the hardware on the inside. Now this ROM does come with the Google Camera Go. Now the reason I like Google Camera Go is because it does give you a ton of options like portrait mode and all the other options which are available. It might not give you the clarity of camera which is there in the stock ROM, but hey, something is better than nothing. And as you observed over there, just like any other AOSP based ROM, you do have very good animations, app opening and app closing animations are there. And if you move on to recents, you will see over here you have clear all and you have screenshot. So you don't have the Android 11 select feature that is available over here. You can share, edit and delete the screenshot, so those options are there. No 3-finger gesture support, so that is a bummer, but that's completely fine. Now moving on, if we move to settings in network and internet, you have the very basic and simple options which you get with Android 11. You can disconnect with the Wi-Fi, you can share the QR code. We are connected to a 5 GHz Wi-Fi network over here. And apart from this, if you go on, you have connected devices, apps and notifications, battery, display. Under display, you do have a ton of options. For example, adaptive brightness, live display. You can change the live display settings. You have screen timeout, colors. You have a live preview of colors which works just as expected. And as I said earlier, you have to enable blurs, you have that option, and you can use dynamic refresh rate as well. Now moving on, as I said earlier, you will not notice that it has a dedicated menu or a dedicated option which is targeted towards customization, but for me this ROM has been very light and quick on its feet, and it has been working just fine. Voice calls have been okay, you know, voice over Wi-Fi and stuff has been fine. So if you go to settings and if you go to network and internet, mobile network, advanced, Wi-Fi calling, you can turn it on, turn it off. So Wi-Fi calling and other features are there and they are working just fine. Now you would ask me that this is a preview, but what about the performance, right? I did not try PUBG on it. Matter of fact, the day on which I'm shooting this video, today's PUBG live FPS test is on this particular ROM. So go ahead and watch that video or live stream and you will know how it performs in gaming as well. Moving on, let's talk about some performance numbers. So let's go to gallery over here. This is the CPU throttling test, right? It throttled to 86%. Now in my books, that is excellent performance. I've seen ROMs go as high as 91% in this 15-minute test. And remember, I am in Mumbai, so the temperatures are 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. So it is the, you know, throttling result is pretty good. And moving on, if we actually look at some other screenshots. So moving on, let's talk about another benchmark application, that is Geekbench. Let's see how much it scored in Geekbench. 754 single core and 2518 multi-core. Now to me, for a custom ROM, that is a pretty decent performance. Geekbench performance pretty good. Thermal performance pretty good. It comes with all the basic things that you need to use your ROM as a daily driver. It even comes with Google Camera Go, which gives you sort of an edge over other camera applications which come with some other custom ROMs, and it has styles and wallpapers to, you know, customize your look and feel and stuff. Charging, discharging is fine. So all in all, in a nutshell, if you ask me, for an initial release, Aospk is pretty good. I think you should definitely give it a try, or you can also go ahead and watch the live stream and decide if it games well or not before you actually go ahead and flash it. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this video. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at PhoneOps. Keep smiling, take care, goodbye.